It is July 10th, 2023, and we have demos starting with Paul Stack. Hello, Paul Stack.
So the past few weeks, we have been changing the asset editor to use a new style of code rather than using JSON. We're actually using TypeScript. It's important to note this could be a first turn. This is not potentially the end goal if this is not the desired API that we would like, but this is actually something that feels quite simple and quite easy to go with. So when we actually go in and we actually look at any of the assets right now, you see that it is in TypeScript, and you can actually see using a builder pattern, and it looks a little easier to understand rather than a massive lump of JSON, and we can be able to see what's going on. So if I want to go and add a new asset, I don't know where my add asset button has gone, which is kind of funny. So somebody has deleted the button.
I think you're on head. Try to go to
Thank you. I am on head. Yes, exactly what we were just talking about. So you can now see that we don't allow adding anything. But if I author a new assets, I have here is some stuff I added earlier. And we're seeing this is effectively a Docker image asset, but we're calling it something random. And we can see, damn it, like so. Oh, yeah. Set. I changed the API recently. That'll be why. Now we can create the asset. The asset goes through as expected, and we have a new asset that can actually be used, and we can see all of the pieces. If I go and change it to system init/whiskers, it even propagates through the name. So we have some logic built into the asset editing that you get the value from specific input sockets or props or whatever you need. And that's everything.
That's amazing.
It's looking really good.
Yeah.
It looks much better in code. Now, of course, the internals of the code may potentially change. It's up to like us as a team. I like to decide that, right? But rather than a massive lump of JSON, and you could see that if I change, like if I go and add a new asset, we'll actually see the code, like add entry does not exist. So we actually get some level of verification. And because we're generating these types and we're loading them into the screen, so or into the editor. So const x equals new prop builder. And then we can say dot set name. I spell it right, and like dot set kind, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's actually able to like work its way through.
Tell you what you needed to do.
Exactly. So it's much easier, much better experience. So
yeah, that's great.
It's looking good.
Yeah. And I love the that design of like the API itself sort of came out of you as you built it. Like you flowed with what felt good, and like it's such a better position to iterate from rather than thinking about like, hey, how would we like, you could have like a long design conversations about the shape, or you could just build one and be like, what do we think about this shape? And like beautiful.
And the reason the builder works quite well here for us and at this point in time is it's actually what we use internally, like to build the package spec. So it's quite native to like the pattern that we're doing. But if we decide and we test it, like we can change it. That's not a problem. It's code now. It wasn't code before. It was JSON. Now we actually have it, and it's executing the function in order to generate the generate everything that's there. So it's in a much better situation than it was.
Yeah, it's really good. It's great. Looks great.
How do you feel about it? How does Zach, how do you feel like Black?
How do I what?
How you feeling? Like
I feel good. Yeah. I like it. I mean, one thing that we were thinking with the builder pattern was that like we want to be able to generate errors if someone puts in an invalid sort of set of stuff and have that be like close to where they did it. And so I'm hoping, I don't know that we have that much validation going on right now because we were just kind of trying to get it happening, but yeah, I mean, being able to do it in code is definitely the right option. I mean, like if you look at the like the EC2 instance thing where we have to generate a huge list of instance types,
Mhm.
it's much nicer this way. It's like data driven instead of it being, just like a giant list that you kind of have to figure out where to put it. Anyway, yeah.
So good.
Awesome. All right, Victor.
Yeah. This shouldn't look very different from yesterday since we're just like polishing up and adding some messages and stuff. But basically what we're doing now is that making any change that like would write to a change set. We're actually automatically creating the change set. Now we do have like the new format. That's basically like username dash time, not dash slash timestamp. And it works. The changes panel is small over here. We still get the attribute editor. And like, yeah, last week I demoed out like every variation of what you could do, but basically drawing an edge, creating a component, deleting a component, all of those changes trigger a change set creation. And that like blocks the screen for a little instant, but it's not that noticeable. I feel the experience for that is fine. Right. That's what you get. So it takes a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then yeah, you're in there and then you're doing stuff. You can get the changes here, you can still toggle them out.
I kind of like it
And-
better that it sort of pops up like that because now it like makes it feel chunkier.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like the Facebook thing where like deleting your profile took like a minute. It's like it feels like a real action, but
like,
the
something
UX is
important
still
just
good,
happened.
still easy to do. Yeah.
It created a change set for me, you know?
And now, yeah, we're still missing like we wanted to add like a pop-up or something, like a toast or something, like we created that, but maybe the dialogue is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
I think that's basically it. Like Paul showed that like we basically block the screen on head. It goes like to Theo implemented it, going to like read-only versions of the.
Mm-hmm.
There
trying to
is
type.
one open question. Go to a change set in this page, please.
Okay.
You can apply the change set, but it's gonna apply the changes from the diagram also, but it's not gonna apply the actions. And so like
Mhm.
we need to have a little conversation about like what should apply changes do in the customization.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
anyway.
noticed that too. And we should talk about it.
Mhm. I think that's it.
Cool. Sweet. All right. See you later.